All right, it's Friday. You know what that means? It's time for an Impact Wrestling review. Then put up an Impact review. I was on my good buddy T-Sean's live screen. We were going over the Bray Wyatt deal. I have a link to that in the description. Um, very sad, man. Bray Wyatt, one of my favorite wrestlers of the modern era. Um, to see him pass at 36, at 36 at all, that's, I mean, I'm speechless. Like, never would have expected it. Another victim of COVID. I don't want to get into the politics here, but they say COVID had a thing on his heart, uh, and still feeling the effects. But yeah, I'm move forward, and I guess relive some of the Bray Wyatt memories from the past. Um, and just look at the video. We'll talk more about his career, his influence on wrestling. Um, but this is about Impact, so let's start off and let's look at the notes. Um, Alex Shelley as the World Heavyweight Champion. That's still it's still like what's the word I'm looking for? It's it's kind of awkward to see. It is, but he's becoming this like fighting champion. So whatever. First match, Trinity defeated Jody Threat. Trinity hit her with a full Nelson butt slam into a pinning combination. How can they beat somebody? Well, you're compressing their butt into their spine, and I guess if you roll them up, this probably would be kind of hard to kick out because you just desensitized part of their leg muscles. So that makes sense. Overall, the match is pretty solid. Match pretty solid for what it was. Um, you had Diener defeating Laredo Kid. Um, Laredo Kid at the end of the match, he dove off of the top rope. I thought he was going to hit like a moonsault or Phoenix splash to Diener, who was laid down, but instead he somersault vaulted down onto Khan, and when Laredo Kid tried to springboard in and hit a roll, so like what Austin Theory does when he does that drop kick, he got caught with a Diener DDT. 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, Diener calls out Eric Young for a no disqualification match. Diener, I don't know, man. He looks like a cult leader with that whole. Who does he look like? He looks like the guy from Grand Theft Auto, uh, the Lost Ones, the motorcycle one. He looks like the lead character of that guy. But I don't know, man. He just needs to show like something vicious. And with, I'm gonna take a guess that Eric Young's gonna win this match. It's gonna it's gonna be a thing where you really can't take him seriously unless he just pulls out some kind of like epic violence. Uh, but then you had Ace and Bay defeating the Good Hands. This was a solid tag team match. Um, ABC. Uh, they beat them with a variation of the finesse fold. So usually they do it where they're in the corner and like they have uh, Ace toss Bay into the guy who hit the cutter, but instead this time Bay came off the rope, hit the cutter, and then Austin followed up with the fold. 1, 2, 3. They're trying to do this whole thing with the Good Hands Protection Agency, but the difference is the Good Hands are bumbling, losing goof. So it's more of a heel comedy act at this point that the Good Hands are doing, and they're a pretty good tag team. I mean, you look at this match right here they just did. Uh, Hardly any mistakes. They look intimidating. They're big, burly kind of guys. So I don't know what's missing with them. I don't know. This probably is could get over them being bumbling, uh, fake protection, but who knows? Uh, Probably the match of the night. Chris Sabin showing a more vicious side, defeating uh, Samurai Del Sol. Point of the match, Samurai Del Sol uh, hit his finisher, the Sunrise, on Chris Sabin. Sabin rolled out. Sabin got back in. Eventually, he hits the Cradle Shock wins 1, 2, 3. And in this match, you saw Chris Sabin attacking a lot of Del Sol's legs, being really tight on the offense, really aggressive, and with the addition of Leo Rush in here, and Leo Rush just pretty much pushing Chris Sabin to his limits since he's gotten there, and with what we saw at what was it, Slammiversary, where Leo Rush just dominated that match. It will make sense that Chris Sabin is now the way he is. Um, but still, a good showing for Del Sol, but it's just a different Chris Sabin now. And it should be because of what happened uh, with Leo. Then you had the World Heavyweight title match. Alex Shelley defeated Brian Myers. Match went shorter than what I would have expected, especially with Myers having uh, being a heavyweight and Shelley sort of like being a cruiserweight. Um, this was more of, I would say, Shelley putting on a wrestling clinic and just beating Myers out at every turn. Hell, the end of the match comes with him putting Myers out with a submission hold victory. Uh, After the match, you had uh, Bully and Moose come out to attack him. And then you had Kushida and Josh coming to the fin. Sorry, coming to the fin. And then after that, you cut to the backstage, and who is it? It's Leo Rush, who was attacked not Alex Shelley, but Chris Sabin again, laid him out, title back to the back of the head or whatever. Uh, the storylines are building up here, and then some of the miscellaneous stuff. You had Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve. Last week they cut a promo where he was like talking about his childhood, growing up, becoming a wrestler, and now they like immediately hit a wide U-turn, a sharp U-turn, whatever you want to call it, where Crazy Steve he grabs the guy's hand, Tom's hand, who's interviewing, and he's like, "I need you to tell them about my violence or whatever." So I thought they were going somewhere where it's like, okay, I've been, there's no more decay. I'm out here on my own. I'm gonna try to do something because my father died and he never got to see me wrestle. Instead, it's yeah, I got abandoned again, and now I'm going to become even more violent. So where they push this, they're going to need. I would say build another faction around Crazy Steve. Uh, Maybe the design, maybe that could be something. Crazy Steve and Dean are in the design as a tag team. That could be maybe something, but I think they maybe want to do something to where Crazy Steve is on his own, and you're gonna have to have the right opponent and the right storyline for that. Trying to think what was the oh yeah, Masha Slamovich and Killer Kelly were talking about how they're gonna have to defend their titles at emergence, and it's going to be them versus Giselle Shaw and Savannah versus the Covenant versus the Death Dolls. That should be pretty good too. But overall, this was a pretty solid show. I mean, um, they kept the storylines kind of intact. This Del Sol Chris Sabin match, man, like that was a really good. That's some really good ground wrestling. I'm trying to think of some other stuff I might have missed as far as like storylines. Uh, Johnny Swinger will be challenging Kenny King for the DMC title, uh, and then Uramura and uh, Joe Hendry they're gonna be forming a tag team. That should be pretty entertaining because they already got that whole vignette set up where they're dressed as like 90s jeans models. So that should be kind of entertaining. Let's see another one. Oh yeah, Jake. Something. I'll talk about that at Emergence Sunday or yeah on Sunday. Um, and I think that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna be starting this more up with Impact. So tonight I'll be watching SmackDown, and I have a SmackDown review for you guys Saturday evening before the FTP drop. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys later, and tell me your thoughts on Impact. How do you feel about Alex Shelley as the World Heavyweight Champion right now? Probably got to go back and watch his match against uh, Tanahashi at Worlds Collide. And also, I just want to watch World Collide anyway because they had a lot of matches that I want to check out. The Julia versus the three other women in that match. I think that's going to be something worthwhile. Um, really need to see Julia on television, on Impact or AEW. Trying to think of Zack Sabre Jr. I'm not sure. Did Zack Sabre Jr. get pinned in that match against Moose and Myers versus TMDK? Because Moose versus Zack Sabre, that should be a pretty good match. But I think I gotta go back and look at it and see if he's pinned Shane Hayes. But anyway, I'm gonna get on Fallout 4 after I process this video out, and I'm gonna catch you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow evening. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace out.